Hi, Michael.
Can you hear us, Michael? We are live.
Okay. It is December 14th, 6 o'clock. Open the EDA meeting up. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of November 9th meeting? Feedback from somebody.
Second.
Chris, can you hear us?
That's tough to take, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. Even with bad hearing, it's tough to take. Well, keep.
My volume is off, so I don't know what else to do.
Look at the bottom right, the top one. Right there. Is Chris here?
I thought we were.
I don't think so. It's okay. There. Wow. Shouldn't have laughed.
Wait, turn your hearing aid off. It ain't it. Well, we'll try to go here. I got a motion and a second to approve the minutes of the November 9th meeting. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion's carried. CETA update, Kaylin.
Hello, good evening, Mayor and Council. I only have a couple of updates tonight, so I shouldn't be up here for too long. The first update I have is actually also number 3 on our agenda, and it's the facade payment for the Goodhue Depot. Back on September 28th, the depot, or Carolyn Ryan, applied for a facade grant to help subsidize the cost of their roof replacement, and that has since been completed. You'll see the receipt of completed work attached in your packets. So I'm just asking for a motion a second to pay that $2,500 that we approved back in September.
I move we pay that.
Motion made second to pay that Carolyn Ryan. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Perfect. So the second update I have tonight is just about a grant navigator program through the League of Minnesota Cities. The League is currently running this program that gives cities the ability to ask for up to $5,000 to then use those funds to apply for other grants. So this would be maybe state or federal grants that are kind of a huge undertaking for someone to write. So they may exceed my 16-hour-a-month capacity. So then we could hire a firm, even like Reese's through ISG, to write a grant for us for those funds. So I'm working with Jason right now to explore some different projects we may need to get done and seeing if there's a project for us and a grant out there that we can use that $5,000 to pay someone to help us submit a successful application. So we're kind of just exploring different options. If there are any, project ideas you have or specific things you want me to look into, please let me know. Right now we're kind of looking at different park programs, and then the USDA also has a communities facilities grant program that could maybe help us pay for a new skid loader or a plow truck or something like that. So those are some of the things we're exploring right now.
Okay.
Great. And then the last update I have is also grant related. So I just wanted everyone to know that Jason and I worked together to submit a grant for up to $10,000 to cover the cost of the city water monitoring system improvement, which essentially be us adding a dialer to the water tower to monitor water level, temperature, and pressure, and then an alarm system on the water well and lift stations. So we will hear back for that. They said 4 to 6 weeks after we submitted the application. So I'm hoping we'll have an answer by the second council meeting in January on whether or not we are awarded that $10,000. And based on the quotes that Jason received, I think it should cover almost the entire cost if we're awarded $10,000, and maybe a little bit of overage, just depending on how much the electrician would cost to install everything and get it connected. But I'm optimistic about that. Hopefully it goes well.
That'd be great.
And then in January, I'll be here on the 11th and the 25th. But if you have any questions prior to then, please just shoot me an email or give me a call. Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kayla.
Chris was saying that shy of stopping the whole meeting and coming in to do something, he doesn't know what to do to fix it. So I said, I don't know if you guys wanted to stop the whole meeting or.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. I think he's listening to us, but I'll go talk.
Yeah, I don't think it's
Just right after we went live.
Oh, yeah.
He had his cell phone.
Oh, boy.
Take a moment for the bathroom.
Yes, ma'am.
I have sensitive ears. There.
I was gonna say, we'd all be stepping out of your room.
Hi, can you folks hear us? You're on mute right now. You want to unmute yourself? Can you hear us, Buffy? I'm not sure how your audio is going to be to hear us here. We'll adjust it as we go through.
I can hear you absolutely perfect right now.
Okay, great.
I can as well.
Perfect.
Okay.
I've got to wait for Bob to come back for this next part here. So. Next thing on the agenda is a lot sale resolution. You want to explain that?
Sure, yeah. EDA members. So there's a resolution in front of you tonight to authorize, it's sort of 3 transactions, but I think you appreciate that the 11th Street lots are the 2 twin home lots, are actually 4 platted lots. But anyway, it's a resolution that would have the EDA conclude that selling those lots is in the public interest, and that doing so will further your plan for economic development. Obviously, you'll build some new homes, have some new residents in town, and so that's the purpose of the resolution. I'll tell you just as a practical matter, the other purpose of the resolution is that, well, 1, it's required, but 2, it's something that the closing agent, the title company that will handle the closing, needs to see in order to go through with the transaction. So practically, we just have to present to make the closings happen this resolution. So it's just a legally required thing. You'll note that in the resolution it refers to a public hearing. Of course, we're not having a public hearing here tonight. The reason that is there is that is also a requirement, and I'm advised, having talked now about all of the public process that you've gone through to acquire the land, plat the land, put it up for sale, authorize it to be marketed by Mr. Gadian, that in the process of that, at least 1, if not more than 1, hearings were held on the city's overall plan for developing and selling properties. So that's what's in front of you, and again, it's just legally required to make the sales happen.
Joe, bear that back, please.
Oh, and EDA members, if I can, just one other thing. My understanding is that the single-family home lots, the lots that are to be bought by the two couples, those are teed up and are truly sort of ready to close here soon in the next week or two. The twin home lots, a little bit less clear where the Buyer Bigelow Homes is at on those, but I think we're optimistic that those sales can move forward soon as well.
And they're supposed to be done by the end of the year, so. Can I get a motion to approve Goodhue EDA Resolution 12.1, approving the conveyance of the properties? Yep. Motion made, second, to approve conveyance of the properties. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next on the agenda on that part is Wayne. You want to talk?
My listing expires on 12/31/2022. And so this, I have an extension, and that's the procedure, you know, if you're going to extend the listing, you just have to sign an extension rather than go through all the paperwork all over again. So, you know, the commission is the same as the original commission was, and then we extended it at the original commission rate. So, you know, this leaves all the documents in force that were originally signed back in 2017.
So how long did you want it?
I did it for 2 years. We did it, the first time it was 3 years, and then it was a 2-year one that's expiring now, and then we did another 2 years. So, I don't know, I got this stuff late for Jill, so I don't know.
Yep, so you have a copy and Bob has a copy.
So I
And
apologize.
then everybody else got it emailed.
I apologize to Jill for getting this really late. If everybody did that, she couldn't function, so. So there's a list, you see a list of MLS numbers, probably on your back sheet.
Flip side, there you go.
Okay, so, the ones that, first you have the MLS number, then the next line is whether they're active, pending, or whatever. So the green ones that say A are all active, and those, there should be 8 of them, there's 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 8, so those are the lots that haven't been sold yet. And the ones with the P, they're the ones that are pending, and they're all to close on or before December 31st of this year. And there's one that requested that they close as soon as possible because there's some funds left for reimbursement of building permit.
Sure.
You know, and so they want to take advantage of that.
There's only 2 pending on the other part? I thought there was 3.
Well, there's 2 twin home lots, so there's.
Yeah, that I know.
Yeah, but what was the question?
Up there in the other section be Swanson 2.
2 on 2, yeah.
There's only 2 there. I thought there was a third one.
The other, yeah, there is another one pending, but,
They just,
that's the close in 2024. Yeah.
that'll be the next council.
And that's included in this pending.
Okay.
Right. And
So
that's,
EDA President, I just wonder if I can ask, so the resolution you just adopted refers to authorizing 3 transactions. And I think when I look at the pending ones here, I think it's all of the pending ones except for 106, Joyce? I think that's right. I think the last two, Wayne, at the bottom, to be decided, 11th Street, I think those are the two twin home lots, right? And then 107 is on there and 103 is on there. So I think it's just 106. Is 106 one that the EDA has previously authorized for sale? Is there a resolution out there? Because the closer's going to want to see a resolution.
These are all what were, you know, the purchase agreements that were signed within the last 2 months. This all, well, I take that back. The twin home lots were signed probably back in
June or May.
yeah, I think originally the offer was made in maybe April or whatever. And
No, it was at Joyce Avenue when I was looking at, so.
Right, and where I'm going is just that, do we need to now go back and amend the resolution you just adopted to also refer to 106 Joyce, or 1006, I guess, Joyce? Because again, the closing on that transaction, the closer's going to need to see a resolution that says you've authorized that. So if there isn't a resolution somewhere else, then we should amend this to include that.
Okay, can I
yeah,
ask,
that would be nice to do that.
can I ask a question on this then?
Yeah.
What's the possibility of ending all of them tonight? So we don't have to go through this again, or the next council won't have to.
Yep, I guess in as much as there isn't a pending sale, and so you don't know the details of the transactions, that would be, you'd have to speculate a little bit about what those are gonna look like, but, yeah, I can't tell you couldn't do that.
I mean,
You could do that.
Just to save time and hassle from the next council coming in.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing different about these three, and then if we add 106, 1006 Joyce, is that the terms of those deals are in purchase agreements, right? So you know what the financial terms are. You could know if you wanted to know what the financial terms are. So you don't know with the other ones, so.
I can understand that more clearly. All the terms are the same. You know, the prices are all the same, and then all the other terms are, I mean, there's really not much, you know, they're either financed or the cash. They all agree to bill within 120 days, so they get the 10% discount. End of story. The city doesn't negotiate the price of the lots, you know, and that's the way it's been. After I think the first lot was negotiated, and then after that, the council decided that rather than go through all this haggling and stuff, this is what the program is. You know, discount at 10% if you agree to build in 120 days. And so the only difference is whether it's cash or if they're going to get a loan on it, and the closing date.
Yep.
And the earnest, well, I guess earnest money, you know. Most of them are either $500 or $1,000 down.
Yeah, so I guess my recommendation is, my legal recommendation is that you amend the resolution at least to include 106, 1006, Joyce. Whether you want to add the other ones too, I guess I'd leave it up to you. It's not my decision to make, so. But I think you should add 1006, Joyce, to the resolution.
I agree with you there. How does everybody else feel about it?
Well, like you said, all the terms are the same, and
I mean,
nothing's able to change on any of it. I mean, we couldn't go ahead and do it, but I just, some of the stuff's pretty Greek to me too, so. Yeah.
I mean, we could do the 106 and the next council will have to do the rest.
Right.
So can I get a motion then to amend the resolution to add 106 into it for 1006 Joyce Avenue? Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and second to amend the resolution to add 1006 Joyce Avenue. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion's carried. Should ask Michael.
I heard him say.
Okay, as long as you can hear him. Okay, we'll just have to, I'll come back and sign it again next.
Yeah, so we'll add it in there and I'll get your signature.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, so did you deal with extending these?
No, I haven't done that yet.
Oh,
So how's everybody feel about extending Wayne's for another 2 years as the realty agency or Keller Williams?
I think I see it. That's fine now.
Will I get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Motion made second, give Wayne another 2 years. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
thank you, so you, just sign those period and we'll get together or however you want to do that.
Yep,
Thank you, Larry.
thank you. Is there anything else to be brought forward to the EDA? Do I get a motion to adjourn? Motion made, second to adjourn to EDA. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Is the council meeting for December 14th. Stand for pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda? Oh. Excuse me. I want to make an amendment to the agenda. An amendment is to go into a public hearing for Smeekcha, well, Buffy, just for you. I want to add that to it.
That's number 6.
Let's see, we gotta have a public hearing.
Oh, okay, so just change it.
Yeah, it's just to approve the funding for it. So can I get a motion to approve the agenda as amended? Motion made and second to approve the agenda as amended. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Approve the meeting minutes of the November 9th meeting.
I just have one thing in the middle. It's just a typo.
Oh,
The wrong date. About halfway down, motion by Broadhurst to table employee raises until the December 9th meeting, and it's the 14th. And then there's truth or taxation, December 14th also.
So can I get a motion to approve the minutes as amended? Second?
I'll second.
Motion made and second to approve the minutes of November 9th meeting as amended. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion's carried. Approve the special meeting minutes of the November 14th meeting.
I so moved.
I got a second?
I'll second.
Motion is made and second to approve the special minutes of November 14th. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. The old business. Buffy.
said he disconnected them and he's gonna re-add them.
Oh, Chris did?
There was a delay in there.
Yeah, 'cause from Michael. Problems with this. Oh, usually it's always good.
This is what this is about here, this.
Yep. Is Chris out there, Jill, or not?
Yeah, and he's out in his car and he's trying to get him on. I'm gonna call Buffy and get her on. Hi, Michael. I have you on my phone.
Okay.
We're having
I have
tech-
no idea what happened.
Yep, you're at what? So
Oh, there she is.
you're live.
Your call has been forwarded.
You want to just hang on here, Michael?
Jill, can you
Yeah,
hear
we
me?
can do that.
Okay.
Okay, you're up.
Awesome. Did you open and close the public hearing?
Not yet. I was waiting for you to give us a spill on it.
Okay, all right, I can do that before or after. I'll give you the spiel first, and then we can open and close the public hearing.
We can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. I was in front of the Goodhue City Council about a month ago. We talked about the grant and some of the recent changes to the grant. The total award is $459,000. This is a grant both for Goodhue and Denison, as you know. The grant is for 20 owner-occupied projects. And so far, we've had 23 applications being sent out. So we're really excited about the requests that have come in. Several of those, however, either didn't respond from that initial interest, or they didn't qualify. Currently, we have 10 applicants going through the process, which is great. I believe the last time I was in front of you, we had one, maybe two going through, so this is awesome. We've got one in construction, one that's having a lead risk assessment done. 2 applicants are reviewing bids, and one inspection is I believe scheduled for this coming Thursday. And we've got additional information being requested on the other 5. We've done a lot of marketing. We've done some postcards. We've got Facebook page set up with the city, flyers sent out. I know we've done some posting even at local businesses. And we've placed ads in the papers for the last 2 weeks. So again, we're just really excited about this grant, especially with it being opened up to the full city of Denison, full city of Goodhue, and then just the income limits being expanded in terms of we limited the tiering, and basically if you're at 80% of area median income or below, you qualify for up to $25,000 in that deferred loan, which ends up at the end looking like a grant. So We're super excited, and I'm happy to take any questions that you might have.
I've got one for you. That 10 applicants, is that just from Goodhue?
The 10 applicants that are in the process now, no. We've got a couple of them are from Denison that are being processed in there.
Okay, thank you. Anybody got anything for her? It is a good deal. Should I go into public hearing now?
You certainly can. You can go ahead and open that. We can take public comment, and if there is any, then we can close that public hearing, and I'm so happy to take questions.
Well, good thing we got what we did. Can I get a motion to suspend the council meeting for a few minutes and go into a public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and second to suspend the council meeting for a few minutes and go into a public hearing. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. We'll open up the public hearing. I will call for a motion to open the public hearing on the Small Cities Development Program Citizen Participation Plan. The required second hearing is on the opportunity for the property owners to provide feedback on the original Citizen Participation Plan adopted by the Small Cities Development Program grant and any substantial amendments to it or to the activities for which the SCDP funds are used. The public hearing is now open at 6:32 p.m. If anybody would like to come forward and speak for or against the item, please come forward. State your name and address for the record. I would ask that the comments be kept to under 5 minutes. Thank you. Anybody here wants to comment on it? Anyone once? Anyone twice? Anyone 3 times? I will call a motion to close the public hearing at 6:32. All in favor, say aye. Or wait, get a motion.
So moved.
Motion made and second to close the public hearing. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Now, can I get a motion to close the public hearing and open the council meeting?
Second.
Motion made and second to close the public hearing and open the council meeting. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. What else do you need, Buff?
I am all set. That's all I needed to do. According to grant regulations, we had to have that second public hearing during the grant period, the open grant period. So that's why we had to do that public hearing here during that second year that the grant is open. So, but again, I'm happy to answer any questions either now or offline. You can contact me at Centra if you have any questions as well.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chris, is he in here?
Sounds like a different car door shop, so. Yeah.
Yep.
Morning, Chris.
Hello.
So
I submitted information to Bob, Chris from Minnesota Wisconsin Radio Group. I submitted information to you a little bit earlier today, not too much earlier in the meeting, but just a proposal for the lease agreement for the water tower. Everything was taken from the original Verizon lease.
Payments too? Payments too?
Well, not that part, a little adjustment on that, but
That's 200, right, for a year?
it is $200 per year.
Yeah.
Yep, and then it was two antennas to be placed on the top. There should be a picture with
there's two existing mounts up there that we would mount to, and then we would use the existing conduit drop that comes down through the water tower, and then place a box about this tall here, about this size, inside the base of the water tower, wherever would be best place to be placed. Yep, that's how it was. Their requirement was that we provide them a number where they could call us if there's any issues with interference, that they could call us right away to mitigate those problems.
Okey doke. Does this look good to you?
I haven't looked at it. I just got it as I was leaving my office to come here.
Do we need to wait to approve?
You know, I guess that would be my slight preference, although I wouldn't, mind if you approved it subject to my review and comments. I mean, that's okay too, if you want to move it along. I mean, the other thing other than legal review, and I suspect it's fine if it's based on the prior agreement you had with Verizon. I mean, the other thing you want to do is make sure that Public Works is taking a look at how the antennas will be mounted and installed, and whether that's going to get in the way of public use of the water tower for a water tower. And that's not something I can comment on, but I trust that others have looked at that or will look at that.
I'd be happy to work with Jason too. We can go out there and take a look.
So, good or bad, can I get a motion to accept this on Bob's recommendation, after Bob's recommendation?
I know that we accept this on Bob's recommendation.
I get a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and second to approve the equipment location lease for Minnesota Wisconsin Radio Group on condition of Bob acceptance. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Employee raises for 2023 self-review.
I think at one time I suggested that our raises should be 5%. Maybe the inflation was that, and 2 or 3% just doesn't seem to be. Appropriate.
I think we talked about 4 but then,
Okay.
but then.
So what's everybody's recommendation?
Can you hear us okay, Michael?
I can, yes.
And then, at some point in time, Chief Smith's review mentioned that he had been told he would be getting raises for certain things that never came through. And I don't know if we want to talk about that tonight, but something that the new council and mayor should probably really look at some point and see if it would be appropriate to look at those things. So, yeah.
So what, you haven't gotten your,
I did salary review.
no, but I mean for your, like when you got your water license and,
I have a few more months before I can take the test for the water.
okay, that's what I was wondering.
Right.
Because it was agreed upon at each, and that
That's
next,
not till March.
and the next council can see how the,
We got everybody's review, right? Yeah, I thought so. Pretty good.
so how's everybody feel?
It's their time of the year right now for their annual raise, right?
Starts on the first of the year.
First of the year,
Should have been put into the budget.
yeah. I looked at that earlier a little bit, but.
I
guess I agree with Wayne. We can't really do a 3%, just because of cost of living where it's sitting right now. I guess personally, I think a 4 to 5% raise is what we have to look at, just because of cost of living and trying to retain employees to stay with a reasonable wage. Anything less, and they're taking pay cuts to stay working here. So we have to do something advantageous for them to continue working for us.
You wanna make a motion, Michael?
I guess I'll make a motion to have a 5% wage increase for the year of 2023.
Second.
Motion is made and second to approve a 5% wage increase for 2023. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. We'll go into new business. Reese? No. Yeah. Usually she has Reese here, but it doesn't tonight, so.
Can I just ask Bill, maybe, I won't be here, but on the next agenda, we would take a look at Josh's situation. I mean, if he had raises he was supposed to get, he didn't get them, I don't know. It should be looked at.
Yeah, absolutely. I wasn't aware of it.
No, I guess I wasn't either until I read the review and saw that Linda there, so. You give him a look at it anyway. So, yeah.
Sounds good. Yeah.
Great.
All right, good evening. So a few updates today. Nothing new on Viola water main loop, so still waiting on that final warranty bond, then we'll close that one out. Zambrota Sanitary District, we had a couple district meetings, and then we did get a few notes from the lobbyist on, with the state having that $17.6 billion surplus, they did say 11 billion of that is a one-time dollar amount they do need to spend. And so the lobbyist is now recommending that we go after the 50% match for the overall project. And so they're saying that we should go after the 46 million versus the original ask of last year, which was that, I think it was the 7 million. But they are saying that what they're hearing from the legislature is that they are intending to pass 2 large bonding bills, and most of that will be geared towards infrastructure. So they're kind of seeing this as the opportunity.
I've seen where they're gonna try to get one just for the wastewater.
Mm-hmm.
For around the whole state.
Right.
So that's the one I should really go for. So I would say,
Yep.
my personal opinion, yeah, go for the whole thing now.
Yep. So with that, we'd have the 50% match from the state, so that would cover half of it, and then the other half we would try to go for the point source implementation grants, of which I think they're kind of in the middle of the pack, but with 4 different communities going on it. So I think Pine Island was the only one that was a little bit higher than us. Zambrota was a little bit lower, and then I think Wanamingo was still on the list, but a ways down. So we're still in there, so still in the running, so that's all good, and that continues to progress. The other thing we will start looking at is just discuss, if for whatever reason this does not go through, we will start looking and starting to talk with Zambrota on just connecting to them, because ultimately, if that's kind of the direction we're looking at, we'll start looking at what that agreement looks like in the future. I think they would charge some sort of connection costs, but then they'll still have some of the work to get the infrastructure there. So just start taking a look at where options are, because obviously the plant's on its last legs, and we need to do something. So make sure we keep pushing that. 4th Street, 4th and Broadway. So I do know we didn't get pay application 3 passed last meeting, so I would be looking to get pay application number 3 and 4, and that would bring them basically all the work that they would. This will be the last pay app until you get through the final lift of the payment next year. So pay application number 3 is for $149,735.91. pay application number 4 is $78,862.68. And that brings them for all the work completed to date. So anything that they have not done or that the city did on their own, we are not paying for. So
You want to repeat the first one, yeah?
yep, it's for $149,735.91.
I was looking at the wrong one.
Oh, sure. So I would need and if there's no questions.
Well, did we get that straightened out? We didn't push it through last time because there was some stuff that we weren't gonna pay for because it was wrong and we had to have it fixed. We were gonna look into the company that made them, they were built wrong and we had to.
Yeah, and you haven't paid for any of that.
Okay, we have.
Nope, so you've only paid for what's installed per, whatever's there, so.
Those numbers that doesn't include none of that.
Correct, there's nothing there.
So when you look at the way far side, and this is what we didn't know at the last council meeting, if you look at the way, it'd be left-hand side, there's percentages there. And that's the part that we missed at the last council meeting. So it was at a 0% there. It's very small writing, and I probably need your cheaters to actually read it too. So that's where those totals came from. So that was what I didn't understand. And then when Reese's assistant Jacob came in here, then he explained it to Jason and I.
Good, so then if it's right, we gotta get paid.
Yeah.
Their work is done.
I have another thought or question there was in the contract, something about, late payments or late fees for if the job wasn't done on time. I don't know that we finished it on time, according to what the contract said. I don't know how many days that was, and then how much the late fees that would be.
So that would be your liquidated damages clause, and so that would be for substantial completion of the street minus the final lift, which has a separate completion date. So that would be considered the substantial completion. I believe this one was, I don't know the exact number of days that it was over, but that would be, I think it was $1,500 a day based on the contract amount. So if you would like to pursue that, we can. Sometimes it is a little bit difficult when you're talking liquidated damages because you kind of need to prove that you did have the damage. And so sometimes they come back at you with that, but yeah, it's really up to council if you'd like to pursue liquidated damages. We can certainly do
So how many days was it?
I don't know offhand. I guess it would have been, yeah, I could get that number for you, but it's probably 15.
And that doesn't involve these at all, it would just be direct negotiations with
It'd be some negotiations, and then what we'll typically do is we pull that out of retainage. So that 5% that we hold back, that's kind of what we can hold over them, but, you know, it kind of depends on if we want to have that fight and say that.
I guess in my personal experience with liquidated damages and holding it back, sure there was some struggles here and there with them, but in retrospect, what they did, I don't see it to warrant needing to hold liquidated damages. You're just poking the bear because you can at this point. Now, if we had a gravel road and we had to plow a gravel road all winter, I could see trying to do something, but I guess with everything that was completed and relatively done on time, personally, I don't see the point in pursuing liquidated damages at this point.
They're just gonna blame it from one to the other and it's gonna sit there. We've done this road before.
I guess the one thing I was concerned about, are they gonna come back and do the groundskeeping that they're supposed to do on time? I mean, we've had so much trouble with this guy in the past. I mean, water, 2-3 years, we're waiting to get that done.
Yeah, that part of it.
And
What is the cause on that?
They just have not submitted the warrant.
It's done.
I know. They just need
It's
to
all
submit
done. It's all been done.
And frankly, we're probably to the end of what the bond would be at this point, so we could just.
We're just waiting on them to file paperwork. That's nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, that's.
But how long did it take you to get that done? I mean, we were waiting for an hour.
It's still not done, so.
It's still, well, no, I mean, the work itself.
Oh, for the, yeah, I mean, they had some punch list items. The work itself, what they do is fine. It's what I've kind of noticed is they don't manage their subs very well, and so once they get their stuff done, then it's fine, but after
I
that.
know it was their blacktopping people,
Right.
was last time.
Right.
There's a lot of groundskeeping that needs to be done that haven't been done. They said they were gonna do that this year.
Yep.
And
so
are they gonna come back and do it? How do we ensure that they're gonna come back and do that?
Well, that's where you have the 5% retainer until they do the final lift. So if they come back and do the final lift and never do any groundskeeping, that's when you don't pay them the final 5% retainage fees. Or that's when you go after them for that point. But I don't think at this point, for anything that they have done up to this point, warrants needing to hold anything back.
What about the curb and some of the cement where it meant to? Wasn't there some of that wasn't done?
Yeah, that all got done.
That got done. It's all, I thought I read somewhere that hadn't been done yet.
There's only 4 feet of curb north and a little section by Old City Hall that. Is it the alley in that behind the hardware store? That's all done. That was the main part, because that's.
I guess, Wayne, going back to your point on the groundskeeping, what we can do if they don't come back, we can terminate the contract, not pay them that amount, and then what we do if we do go down the termination route, we do have to notify them. They have 10 days to remedy the situation, and if they don't, then we can, end their contract. We would then not pay them another dime, and then we would hire our own groundskeeper, they would come do the work, and then we'd take that out of there.
I'm just very concerned about the groundskeeping and not getting done and that kind of thing too, so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, okay. If we're good with it, then we're good.
So, can I get a motion to pay these?
I move that we pay the 4th Street and Broadway Street improvements.
I'll second.
Motion is made second to pay the 149, 735, 91, and the 78, 862, 68. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion's carried.
Jason was working on converting the disinfection at the well from gas to liquid chlorine. So in order to do that, the state does require a permit to do that permanently. So we did get all that work through the state, got them some plan updates, gave them the information they need, and they should be giving, they basically verbally approved it because they had the permit sitting there. I think we got them their check in the middle of last week, so that's what's going on getting that final approval. So.
Okay, I got a question on that.
Yes.
I've been getting phone calls, people saying that water tastes like chlorine right now. So what are we doing with it, or anything, or?
It's in limits, I've been testing it all the time. It was a little high, like a week ago,
No, that's when I started getting
and
phone
we
calls.
turned it down. So, it's at 0.99, that's what it was yesterday. And 1.8 is the limit, I think, the highest, no, 2's the limit, is the highest it can be. And it was high last week, we had to back it off, so.
Yeah, I started getting calls the end of last week.
I didn't hear anything, so. But it's turned down, it's fine, well, within now.
And that's the only reason I'm asking is,
Nope.
I didn't know if you already have it hooked up.
No, it's temporary system until this plan goes through. So, but we've been monitoring it a lot, every other day, every day.
No, and that's fine, I told him I'd ask.
Okay, thanks.
And the only other piece with that, I know there's a couple things that you need to order just to make it.
We already got all that.
So you already have it, so it's just an wash station, so that if, when you have chemicals in there, you need to know that if you get exposed to it or whatever else, you need to have that in our station, so, state was satisfied with that. Next part, we did have a meeting with NINDOT, a utility meeting this afternoon on the Highway 58 and County Road 9 roundabout project they're planning on. So they are saying that they gave us 30% plans. What they're planning on doing is getting 60% starting with one, and then they do plan to have their full plans done end of August next year, and then bidding in December, so then construction would start in the spring of '24. So along with that, we do have a water line that runs across 58 on the north side of the road, and it feeds that, the farm on the northeast corner there. So right now, what it is, it's a 4-inch line that gets necked down to a 2-inch line under the highway, and then falls back up to a 4-inch. But as part of that, because the water line is located within the roundabout expense, the state does not allow any utilities to be there, so we would have to move that. It's probably 25, 30 feet, but it's probably rerouting the water line if we want to continue to have water there. So once the state gives us 60% plans in March 1, then they will send a relocation plan request stating that we need to get uploaded. So that will require us to pull plans together, go through MnDOT, make sure they're all good with what we're showing, and then we would need to reroute it. So their preference is for us to do that before they get into it at all. They really don't do much more.
And then when we rerouted it, we'd go with a larger diameter pipe for sure, because we had a fire out there and we couldn't use it.
Right. So you'd have to get and at least a 6-inch line.
Right. Well, if you're gonna move it, you might as well do it right.
Yep.
Take it all the way back to Broadway.
Right, yep, absolutely.
Yep. So just keep that one on the radar. That one will be coming.
Yep.
But
I don't know, it's a must, you know, I think it's gonna have to be done, so.
so the second part of that, there is the trail issue. So right along Broadway, there's the trail that runs through Ag Partners. They have requested that, it doesn't look like anything was ever recorded, or no easement was ever filed for it. So MnDOT is requiring that we get that addressed. So talking with our surveyors, we have a little bit of background information from that, just previous work. So if we wanted to get the easement developed through all of Ag Partners, we could do that for about $5,500. If you wanted to kind of correct that easement all the way up to 3rd Avenue, right now it looks like the easement runs actually through the gas station. I don't think we want that. But if we want to do that, we would have another $1,000 into it, so that'd be $6,500. He could finish that in 2 weeks. So he'd have to come out, find all the property pins, do some field research, and then come up with all the descriptions. So that is one thing that MnDOT does want to see as well. So we can certainly do it either way, but I'm trying to keep it.
Well, you can do it, or they can kick us off of it when they take over.
Right, that would be what would happen.
That's exactly what would happen. They've come out and told me that right away already, so. That's why I was pressing you two to get it done this year yet. That was the main reason for it, so.
Yeah, Mayor and Council, my only concern is, and this is no reflection on Reese and his firm, but, you know, that's a fair amount of money to get that surveyed, and it was very clear, I thought, I agree with Reese, that on the call, the MnDOT representatives wanted an easement in favor of the city from Ag Partners, and they referred to it having the description of the easement be surveyed. But it's not impossible that they would accept an easement that says that the trail in its current location can remain in the city, has rights to it, and then like an aerial photograph or a hand-drawn depiction of it, that it's not impossible that MnDOT would accept that. I guess I think you need to move forward with authorizing the survey to be done, but maybe simultaneously we can ask MnDOT if something less than a full survey, because it's going to be $5,500. I mean, it's real money. So, I think you have to move forward, but I think it is worth having Jill or me or Reese reach out to MnDOT to see if, in fact, they really have to have the whole thing surveyed.
And that's because they told me they did. I mean,
Yep.
And
they said that on the call. Yep.
I've been on a couple calls with it. The thing about it is, what they got me is they turned around and said they wanted up to 3rd Avenue. And I know for a fact when the C-store was built, we talked about it. Pete is here, the guy that owned it. And we moved it.
Easement, it's in the back.
It's on the back part of it.
It's a recorded easement for 15 feet. The trail goes through there, that's why we can't build or park on that part of it.
And
It's not marked, it's all blacked out.
Yeah.
But it's a recorded easement on the C-store's parcel.
Seeing that, so I'm glad you were here tonight, because I knew this was coming up, and you and I talked about it, and we did it. When the C-store was built, because it did come down there, and then we moved it back, and Egg Partners agreed with it.
No, if they had, that'd been great. So basically, we were just basing that off the line where NDOT gave us, and it showed it going through the C-store. And so if that is not the case, then great. I think all we need to do is see the title work and, state that, hey, it's already there, so we don't need to worry about it.
And that should be with the county, because that should be recorded.
Yep.
So they're 15 feet of the C-store parcel.
On the south end of the street, yeah.
Part of the easement.
Well, that's good.
So I just wanted to bring that to you tonight, a lot of people's here too, because I knew he'd remember, you know.
I appreciate it.
So is it okay with the council to keep going on that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, sounds like we have to do that.
Yeah, that's,
We have a choice.
Do I need a motion or not?
Yeah, it's best to have a motion, but, I mean, I think we get that you're in favor of it, so whatever you wanna do.
Well, I'll call for a motion to keep the survey going for, the easement on the trail from 58 to 3rd Avenue. Motion made and second to keep the survey going so we get it done right away. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
That's all I had. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, that took care of number 11 too, so. Goodview Market, Pete.
We got a strange permit request, as part of it's already done, and the county said they'd like to see a permit. So in the remodel of the store, the state required get it up to code. The meat cooler was the existing cooler, still kept temperature very well, but it wasn't up to code. So we put in a used one, it's already up and running. It had state approval, already paid a state permit for it. I'll pass this around just for entertainment purposes. That's what that is. The county's already dug and the county's already come and inspected it, but asked for a permit, also subject to state permit. And he said to also ask the city for permit for any possible other things that we'd be doing in the store. And specifically, so that is fixed. We built a new one inside the old one. So it's a third less the size, but it's a new box built in the old one. All new, well, it was a used box, but all new equipment inside the old one. So that's in and running, that's attached, that's a fixture. This is the plan when we remodel the store. I'll pass it around. We're gonna put all new refrigeration equipment along the periphery on the outside. That is not attached. I'm curious why he wanted that to be, that's all gonna be personal property. But because there's a lot of electrical and plumbing, Doug wanted to see the final product. Therefore, it should come to the council. So that's the second part. So that's in process. We're gonna close for a couple weeks in January, take the old stuff out, put the new stuff in, reset the store. So that's the permit on that. And then when, he said so have a general permit, anything else that's we would possibly do that would require permit. And there's two potentials. One is we need to replace the canopy out front at some point. If there's money available after the remodel, I'm not super optimistic on that. But that would probably be a next summer issue. And I don't know where we're at with the facade program, but I'll be coming back for that. But that's not a for sure. I don't have a number for that. That's just a potential future one. And the other potential future one would be nice to have a restroom on the main level. No, it's just boys only in the basement. In a 6-foot high basement with a 6-inch beam. So I hit my head on.
At least you don't have to slide down the conveyor belt.
Yeah, conveyor's gone. So that is potential. So I'm just throwing that in the permit. There's no plan for that. Once again, if there's money available, that'd be great, but I'm not super optimistic. So that's what I have for, when I talked it through with Doug for the county, we walked through the store. Those are the two things. You wanted the meat cooler that's already there and the refrigeration that shows around there.
So you're
So any questions?
you're looking more for a plumbing permit with an electric.
Yeah, there's plumbing, electrical involved.
HVAC or anything?
Well, I mean, they
Might as well
got
put it all in
time
together.
with the compressors and stuff.
But I mean, if, even for air conditioning for the store or anything, might as well put it all in one.
Yeah, they're putting it all in together.
We don't have that application though here, right?
Nope, it wasn't turned in yet.
Nope, I've got it now, but you want it now or when you?
You
If
get
you
it
want to take a
all.
look at it, you can take a look at it.
Yeah, we usually have a piece of paper.
Yeah. Like I say, I don't know what the permit fee is for the city, but I pay $200 for, it's an 84 square foot metal cooler. The $200 permit for 84 square feet.
Yeah, so that's all based off of the county. It's your dollar amount, it's based off of.
The county's our legal building inspector, so it's whatever they say. We just approve it.
And this is all the same as the rest of these, so. Looks good to me.
It's just really good that you're doing it.
It's been an adventure.
Oh, boy. That place was in a little bit of need of repair, that's for sure.
You wanna put HVAC on it just in case, or?
I've got plumbing and electrical, but not HVAC, because I don't have roosters up there for refrigeration, but.
I mean, I don't care, I mean, it's,
Yeah, right at the moment, I don't know, but yeah, with potential restroom, it could be HVAC.
okay. So can I get a motion approved for the market?
I'll make it.
Motion made and second to approve building permit for the Goodhue Market. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Not too much.
Thank you.
Jim, I take it you're Lou, or
Yeah.
Dustin?
Well, I guess, yeah. Kind of a last minute show up here.
Come on up, Dustin.
Right. Well, I got the plans for the church for you guys to approve. I don't know, you want to look at them? What do you, have you seen anything or?
No, I was just reading through the permit, I didn't, Lordmeyer's are gonna build the building?
Well, they're kind of partial.
Oh, they're just a general contractor, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you guys wanna, how you wanna do this.
Why don't you bring it down here so we can look at it?
Got 2 sets here, so.
Because the only question I have on this, we didn't really decide this is zoning. But this ain't R2.
It's a church building?
They got like 6.5 acres. Well, I don't think it'd be over 5 feet from the border anyway. That's the lot part of this, so sure. That's 48 feet from the lot line. There's that utility easement of 15 feet in there. Well, it's 25 feet from here. I think it's 15 feet on that line, which they're beyond that anyway, so.
Cause this will be all housing, yeah, right?
That's Frederickson's property.
Well, that's right.
That's right, yeah, that's all that. Cropland back there now, so.
Oh,
This is,
yep, okay.
how far off is the highway area?
How much
Well,
is it?
You gotta be 200 feet.
Yeah, we're beyond, here's the 200-foot mark and we're beyond that.
Okay, that's, all I'm saying is the Great River's got a 200-foot east way going from that corner up to 9. Why they got a 200-foot, nobody knows.
Oh,
But we can't build on that section of our land either.
oh, it's really from that corner, huh?
Wow.
That's kind of a big chunk of property, I mean, you know, for you, you know.
And that's why I was wondering where that 200-foot mark was.
Okay.
Because after that, then you're sitting good. I can see that.
Yeah, and we left some space here just for future expansion and for whatever, you know, and we'll still be well within beyond that, or, you know, so.
Does it have to be a certain distance from that 200 feet?
They are right now, but I mean,
We're beyond the.
we
Our
never
building could go right
set
up
up
to
a
that.
zoning for this because this was all zone residential, then we were gonna change it. But we never really did, I know that for a fact.
Yeah, so you're set way back then.
Right,
Yeah.
because our corner, our edge of our building could be right up to that 200-foot, correct? But we're beyond.
Would church be different?
I don't know. I didn't understand when I looked at the agenda that this was about zoning issues. I thought it was a building permit.
It is, I mean, but I was just wondering about for setbacks.
I don't know.
If we,
I don't know
if
what
we
the
have to,
setbacks are in this zone.
if we'd have to redo it later, but I think everything.
Looks like there's great plenty here to get your 48 feet.
Because setbacks would be 35 feet from the back line. And then 15 feet, well, garage is 6 feet, and the house is 10 feet, so.
Oh, yeah, what are they showing 15 feet from here, so that's setback. That's parking lot.
Yeah, that's the parking lot from the water.
Right, so that's.
And then we've got the retention ponds, we got 2 of them, so.
You gotta have them just before you can go into the creek, yeah.
Those retention ponds.
So they're planning on going with this in the spring.
There's another one right over here. There is.
I just, pretty new to a lot of this, so I don't quite understand. I know, well, that's. Yeah.
Probably be the last page, right?
This is the building itself.
This is the front, this is all offices.
So this is just this all be one level?
Yep.
Oh, nice. Kind of, what is it showing? This is all footings and the walls, or what is it?
This is the walls of the church, this is the walls of.
Well, there are,
They're banquet room. Sure. This is classrooms.
The whole thing is 16,000 square feet. Oh, there's the actual picture.
I didn't get an invite, some churches had it. But I feel like, I didn't get an invite.
Oh, no, I mean, it's just we ran.
Yes. I'll let you make that decision. I mean.
I'm just upset I didn't want to fool.
I just, we didn't buy enough tickets, Gary.
I took it the other day and I even got a picture taken.
I seen that, that was pretty awesome. Did ya?
Yeah.
You and
No, Rick bought one.
That's why I said, disappointed.
You and a lot of other people, I think.
Oh, I didn't look, I went to a good cause, so I didn't too.
Okay, so Jim, you'll just roll those up and then I'll get them turned into the county after approval, so just throw them up on my desk.
Okay, can I get a,
Yep.
can I get a motion?
Right, yeah, exactly, right, it's kind of.
Can I get a motion to approve this?
I move we approve
I guess I have a question.
Okay.
So did I hear that there is a zoning issue too with this?
No, I didn't know what we had for a zoning out there, Mike.
Well, isn't it all zoned residential, I assume?
It should have been, I thought, but we were gonna change that and we sold that land to them. But I don't know if it ever did get changed or not.
So I guess my question is can we approve this building permit without knowing what zone it is in?
Yeah, so Mayor and Council, I don't want to be a wet blanket on that because I'm certain that the church wants to get going, but, granting a building permit isn't approval of the use of the property. It's not a zoning approval. So you can grant a building permit and still need to change the zoning. I mean, that happens with some frequency. So you're not, the matter in front of you tonight isn't related to the setbacks or the zoning of the property. If it needs to be changed, that's something that the landowner is going to have to look into.
Okay, so we can go forward with approving this, correct, Bob?
That's right.
Okay, that was my only question.
Okay.
So how do we know for sure that it's zoned properly? I mean, before we get too crazy.
Yeah, so Mayor and Council, you just, the city has a zoning map, I presume, that reflects the zoning of the properties, and so we'd all collectively want to look at that.
Okay,
So I'll take a look at it tomorrow and then I will get some resources together and I'll let you know by the end of the workday on Friday for sure.
Okay.
And to take some intrigue out of it, so Mayor, I don't mean to be coy about it, I just don't know your zoning code off the top of my head, I just haven't had time to sort of memorize it.
Officially for surely by Friday.
But it's typical, even if the land is zoned residential, it's common. I don't know what Goodhue's zoning code says, but it's very typical for zoning codes to allow churches in residential zones. So it might be the case that even though it's zoned residential, a church is a permitted
Every
use.
church we have is residential.
Yeah, so.
Yeah. Residential, existing churches.
Right, yeah, they're all in residential areas in town. Right.
So we can approve it. So did I get a motion in a second?
We had Patrice on a motion. Who was the second?
Yeah. I'll second that.
Motion is made and second. Approve the building permit for St. Luke's Church. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion's carried. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you guys, appreciate it.
We got a building permit for a new home, and this one is, so that'd be that 10 or 20.
10311.
103, yeah. Oh, there it is. These are the building plans?
Yep.
And now, which house is this?
This is gonna be when you pull in off of number 9 on 11th Street.
So he's the contractor, so that's why
He'd
he
be-
pulled the permit.
It'd be the first lot after the 11th Street on the left, on the west
Okay, so
side.
this is the permit, from Joe Strauss at 103?
Yep.
This is a single family.
Yes. This is a slab on grade, but. Here it is.
That's listing the setbacks.
Yeah, see, it's six feet. The only thing is, on that 6 feet, it should be from the overhang, not the wall.
Should be from the what?
The overhang. That'd be the only question I have on it, because the rest of this is okay. 15 feet and 5 feet, so that's 20 feet, so that's good that way. This garage is the only thing that gets me, and because it should be 6 feet from the overhang.
Farthest point of the building, right. Huh. How do you know what to do there then?
I don't.
Oh.
So I'll talk to Joe Strauss and he'll have to go back to the
We'll just have to table this the next month,
Yeah.
or doesn't he want a table? I mean, I can't do anything until we find out, so. Or we could approve it on a condition that that is 6 feet from the overhang.
Put it on the condition.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if they wanna get going, that would make more sense.
Because this is when you're doing building permits that you really gotta look at. We screwed up many times, that's why it's the first thing that, seems like every addition we find something out, so. You guys wanna see it, or? I mean, everything else looks good.
And if they had to, they had just had to move it, then they'd still have plenty of room on the other side to move it, that overhang.
Yeah, they got an extra 5 feet.
Yeah, perfect.
Because from the street side on that, 15 or 17 feet, I'd have to look at the ordinance.
Make a motion to approve that application, the statements that the overhang other than, what do you call it?
In the easement.
Yeah.
Do I got a second?
Second.
Motion made and second to approve the building permit for Anthony Holside condition that the setbacks from the garages from the overhang. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. This is that split lot, ain't it? Or partial on that.
I didn't understand this when I was looking at it earlier, so.
Okay, the city can, the county cannot split parcels. The city can split parcels, like this is a 160 acre farm, it's, we wanna split the house off because the, farm's going into an LLC. Bruce and Karen are keeping the house separate. So they wanted to split the parcel and we have to approve it, basically is what it is.
Yep.
But the city, as long as it's in the city, we can do it.
Yeah, Mayor and Council, you have an ordinance, you have regulations on subdivisions, and they say that when land gets subdivided in your city, you have to approve it. The reason for that, I'm sure you're all well aware, but the reason for that is that if you have roads planned, or if you have a park planned, or if you have some public improvements planned in a certain area of your city and land is gonna get subdivided, that's the time to address those things, the new road or the new whatever. So that's why cities have the power to approve those things, and to Mayor, the county, so to do this, what this resident wants to do, he'll have to convey part of the land that he subdivides to a newly formed LLC. I understand that's for estate planning or whatever purposes, but he'll have to actually convey the land from himself to this new entity. The county won't record that deed unless you, the city, say you've approved it. You have to tell the county that you've approved that subdivision. So that's what's in front of you.
And give an example of that when they put the storage sheds in down here by the, that was not in there before we annexed it. We annexed that property in so they could split that off and put them in, otherwise they couldn't do it. That was part of the Stair Farm, actually. So they bought it, we brought it into the city, and then we could let them split it for a separate parcel. That's what we're doing basically here too. Oh, if you, any more questions on me, if you?
I totally understand what we're trying to go through. Yeah, he just wants to split it from the house, so they still have that separate.
Yep. That's going into the estate, and the other one's going into the LLC because it's him and his sons that are bought there.
Oh, yeah.
Do we need a motion on that?
Yeah. Can I get a motion to do that, or?
I'll motion to do it.
Motion is made and second to approve the, Bruce Albers, to split the parcels. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Yeah, here comes the big one.
Good to see you.
I'm gonna skip over the top stuff because Reese talked about his stuff. And the well house, we got that. You learned about that. Thing I'm gonna talk about is kind of what Kaylin and I have been working on with this dialer for the water tower / well. I sent you some prices. I worked with ASI out of Lake City. We don't have anything right now to let us know if there's an emergency, or any way to really read the water level of the tower. So that's what this dialer system would be taking care of for us, and then it would also be attached to the lift station down on 11th Street that we have to pump back up to gravity down to the sewer plant. I thought maybe by this time we would hear if we were approved for the money from that grant, but we weren't. So I sent you the kind of the outline and the quotes of what it is. There is a cellular fee every year, and what this system will do is give Todd and I a call if something were to go wrong, such as low pressure, low water, power failure.
This will help us regulate for ice damage too.
Right,
because we'll be monitoring the water levels, keep the water moving.
Exactly, we'll be able to adjust our VFD, it'll work together with that. So, I know Kaylin was here a few weeks ago and talked about putting that mixer in. If I would much rather see our dollars spent towards this to avoid an emergency and also to just give you a good peace of mind that we can watch it from afar. If you would like to have some time to look over it, or if you want to see if we wait and get the grant, I do know it's an 18-week lead time to get these things. So that's entirely up to you. They were here last week and showed us how it worked on the laptop and our phones. So that's the one thing I wanted to talk about. There will be extra installation fees through electrician. I have not. I talked to Corey a couple days ago. He said he could perform the work. We just haven't made the connection to get up to the tower and check that stuff out yet because of his schedule and mine. So, you know, it's around 10,000 if you add all that together. But I'm sure it'll be a few thousand more by the time it's set up. So, something I want the council to think about. Also, if you move on down, unless you got questions on that, the dialer.
So when was this, when would we know 10,000?
It's like 4 to 6 weeks from when I submitted it. I submitted it 2 weeks.
2 weeks
December
ago?
2nd.
Yeah,
when I submitted
2 weeks
it.
ago, I guess.
So it should be by mid-January at the latest.
And like I said, we submitted this and I wrote this and we've learned that it was going to be 3 to 4 weeks yet. So, I mean, it's up to you guys. If you want to wait on it and think it over, or save it for the next council, you can table it, or you can tell me to move ahead with it, and then we can order the stuff and get it going. I mean, it's entirely up to you guys. I wanted to put it out there so you have it on the radar of upcoming projects too.
Put it this way, you need it before it gets too cold out anyway.
Well, it ain't gonna get until spring with that 18-week lead time.
And then this would be everything all at once, or is this kind of like a step process?
No.
Get something and put in and then the next.
Yep.
No, it would all be at once.
We get all the systems and then they install it. So, the only thing we wouldn't have, we're not gonna put in, we could integrate with the plant, but we decided not to, because when and if they do something, that they'll use. So why put that on there? So, and this option to grow too, if we get another station, we can still work with this system. It's basically the lowest grade emergency dialer. A lot of the communities used it. Red Wings and Rollins had it. They use it as their backups. But
I'd much rather see this than a mixer.
Oh,
this makes a ton more sense than that mixer.
Yep. This would be a much better system, so.
And this has been, I guess, phone too, Jason?
Excuse me, Michael?
You can view this all from your cell phone as well?
Yes, yep. Cell phone or laptop. Yeah. And then it'll call us or text us, if we don't notice something.
I mean, it's still gonna be, we're still gonna manually have to check it every day anyway. Part of the job of making sure the chemical feed, I mean, it'll still alert us, but when you're here to do the sewer, you're still gonna have to check it. And it would just be for this main well and tower. So,
And now, which lift station was that at? Was that at 11th Street?
11th Street, yep.
Okay.
So where is that?
It's up by the new, on the end of 11th Street, right at the end, right behind where the new townhomes are, just to the north, right at the end, it's in there. And it pumps up to 3rd Avenue. There's a light on there right now that would alert somebody of a problem, but if you're not looking out the window or you live there, you're not gonna see it. Until more likely the first house backs up and they would call me and say, yeah, we got problems. And by that time, it would be a mess.
So would you consider putting that on the pool one too?
At some time, I guess what wasn't considered in this quote, because we wanted to keep it close to the grant money, with that one being only the pool in one house, more than likely, you would see that flashing before. That one services a lot of houses up there and more coming in. So, the one by the pool is not as big a concern as the other ones. But it would integrate into that if we wanted to do it.
Well, something for the next council to consider is we got that land so we could put that sewer down and match it into 5th Avenue to get rid of that.
Right.
That was the whole purpose of that.
Sure.
And if that's the case, you would just move the box from that lift station to the other one, if they did that.
Yeah, I mean, that's the reason behind buying that property from Frederickson's, to get that built in there, and then the street is actually supposed to match into 5th Avenue also.
Right.
But then everything would be gravity flowed.
Yeah, and then obviously we probably would put it on the pool lift station, or maybe there'd be another one somewhere else at that time, you don't know.
No, but I mean, I just want to bring it up to everybody's attention. That's the reason on the Frederickson property.
Right. So yeah, it's up to you guys if you want to more time to think about it, or you've got more questions. I'd rather have all them answered for you guys than do something that you need more time to think about, because it is a considerable amount of money. $10,000 to $12,000, I'm sure.
So, the money's gonna be spent one way or the other.
Right.
If we don't get the grant.
Yeah, then it would be up to you guys to pay for that out of the sewer fund, or water, I guess. So.
And that's kind of why we held off on
the mixer
and everything too, because I didn't know where the funds were at.
I guess, I mean, if we go ahead and order this stuff, I'm sure it's one of these things that we can work out with ASI that, at the last minute we got this grant, we can figure out some way to pay for it with that. Otherwise, I'm sure it's not going to be all due up front at once.
No, I'm sure you're right, Michael.
It won't be all upfront at once?
No, because you'd have to have the labor costs and materials through the electricians too, and I mean, we'd have to get that worked in there too.
I guess I feel good enough that we go ahead and approve this, and there's going to be enough costs associated that if we do get this grant, that we can spend the grant on this as well. Like Jason said, there's going to be associated costs that are not in these quotes, but that grant will cover that money if we do receive it. But I feel as if this is something we need to have to ensure the safety of our community with the water, the well, and then that lift station as well.
That would definitely help with the ice damage in the tower as well.
I mean, we're probably still gonna have some ice.
Oh,
absolutely. But at least we'll be able to monitor.
Keep the water moving.
Okay, Michael, do you want to make a motion on that then?
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the quotes from Automation Systems.
Do I have a second?
Well, we're gonna have to do something eventually, so,
Eventually.
yeah, I'll second it, because I mean, it's something that's not a want, it's more of a need than a want, so.
Okay, motion is made second to accept the quote from whoever.
ASI.
ASI, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried.
Okay, the other thing that I just wanna talk about, I sent you some pictures. We got a property at 311 2nd Street North, right over here. I don't know if you looked at them in your emails, but he's got farm stacker parked in the alley along with a shipping container that just showed up and sat there. It's not in the way, it's in his property lines. However, if we would get a big snowstorm with a lot of wind, it's gonna drift like crazy right where he has the container sitting. It just showed up, no phone calls, nothing, came to work.
He was supposed to call. I told him no until he got council approval.
Yep, and so I wanted you guys to address that, so this doesn't continue to happen, and he told me it was for a fence, that's why he has the stacker in there, to not be able to see his neighbors, because he didn't have time to do the permits for a fence. That just, I'm sure you guys have seen where it's sitting. It's in a bad spot.
Looks up. Absolutely horrible.
So I don't know. He says the stacker will be moving in the spring. If that's something we want to try to get out of there yet this winter. The shipping container, on the other hand, that's a. If we need to go over and have a talk with him and see what his plans are with that. I was told it was temporary, but it could be not. And I don't know. I couldn't find any ordinances or anything on that I know of.
No, it's considered an outbuilding is what it's
Right.
considered.
Because it really doesn't have a foundation. It's sitting on blocks.
And it's an R1 zoning, so.
Right, I'm looking for direction on that one.
Well, that's a tough one because it's the way it's the old side of town. The new side of town, it wouldn't be allowed in.
Yeah, right.
We had this before.
What about a setback from our property or from the alley?
It's supposed to be 5 feet back inside of the property.
No, it's on the line.
It's gotta be inside.
Yeah, it's not.
You can't put it on the line because it's not zone commercial.
Right.
Commercial, you can go up to your lot line on it, because that's why your buildings are all together.
You need to move it at least 5 feet.
He's gotta move it into his property.
I don't know if you want to set a timeline on that, because probably getting it out of there now is going to be tough.
Well, yeah, it's probably throws down now.
Yep.
I didn't pay attention, I didn't see it.
Well, something's gotta get done.
Well, I suppose you can contact him and see what he.
I mean, I've already talked to him a couple times,
okay.
and he says he's using it because he needs a garage. I don't know where, just for storage and his tools and everything.
Do we need our law enforcement to go talk to him and say you're not in compliance and you need to move it and?
That's.
I guess, I got a question on this, so is there anything, Bob, is there anything that we could do that has some teeth behind it besides just talking to him?
Yeah, that's probably a better question, Michael.
Yeah, so, well, I gather that there are a couple of ordinances, a couple of local laws that don't allow this, at least the setback, and, maybe to the extent it's sort of like a commercial building, it shouldn't be there at all, and so I take it there's a couple of.
Junk ordinance too for that.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
So I take it there's a couple of ordinance provisions that this doesn't comply with, and so, the way a city like this would normally deal with it is the way you have, which is communicate with the person and try and get it worked out, but at some point, you cite them for violating the code and you prosecute them. And, so.
Would you like me to write a letter to him again? Give him 10 days to move everything like he did with the fence?
Yeah, that makes sense.
It wasn't even a fence, it was a tower.
Oh,
So, okay.
Yep, that makes sense.
Yeah, okay, I'll take care of it.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Bob, thank you, Josh.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Josh,
Yes, ma'am.
was that the same, did he have a tarp?
Wasn't he the one with the tire? No.
No,
No, never got it.
Right behind him, because they didn't want to see the farm
Sorry,
equipment.
it's all blended together.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll still have it taken care of.
What did they do with the tarp?
Took it down.
I gave him 10 days to take that down, and then I gave her 10 days to also take that other fence that she put up, but, absolutely, because that wasn't, properly put in.
You mean that got done?
Yeah.
You are a wonder worker.
Well, thank you.
Well,
to say what we were doing. We did get the office completed out there. We're just waiting for a little wiring, and then that'll be done.
Is it warm?
It's warm,
Also,
so.
great.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Jason.
Thanks, Dave.
Police update.
Not too much for a police update, besides with the backgrounds, we have about another week for the backgrounds. We've been running into a snag with the State Patrol. One of the individuals works security for the State Patrol, so we have put requests in with their captain, so getting anything back from them for the background is what's dragging this whole process out. Problem is we can put out 500 feelers overnight and we have to wait for everybody to get back to us, and that's the problem with that. So we should have that done in about another week. We're really hoping. We're pressing them pretty hard. Other than that, everything seems to be going okay. So
I have one thing. I had a complaint from a constituent,
yes, ma'am.
neighbor, and the street across from the front of the school, the people that can park there, there's a 2-hour parking. The front of the school.
Yes.
Yeah. And she insists that some cars are parking there all day.
Okay.
And it's a 2-hour limit. So I'm just going by what she said.
Okay. Well, I keep my eyes open. Mine is chalking tires.
That's what I was just gonna say, once you chalk the tires.
If you want me to come in and start doing chalking tires, I can start coming in for that.
Well, you know if they're there or not, that's the only thing you're.
Yeah.
Where did you take a picture of
In comparison. Yeah.
From your car?
The sign, there's a sign up front there, it says 2 hours parking just between certain hours, or 2 hours parking for the whole day.
I think it's between 7 and 3
Oh,
are the hours.
I just caught that the other day when I was going down there, that there was 2-hour parking, but I didn't see the limits.
Okay.
I will come up with something.
Okay.
We'll get it figured out. When I do, I'll get back to you, okay? Other than that, is there anything else?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Parking ordinance review.
I had a neighbor who got a ticket, I think the end of the month, last month, November, there must have been a snow. And he thought that maybe this, well, I don't know if he thought the storm was over, but the street was cleared. The snowplow had gone by twice. And he put a car out there and then got tagged. So I don't know if we need more clarity in the ordinance or what. Because it says, under number 2,
during or after a snowfall, sleet, freezing, rain. During and or after. If you parked on any city street during and or after a snowfall, sleet, or freezing rain.
Until it's been cleared though, right?
Well, the problem
the
is,
street is cleared. It's full wet.
I think the biggest issue that individuals are running with is that it gets cleared, and then there's either more snow coming down, then we got also drifting snow, and then we have the plow. Well, he's not here anymore. The plows have to come back out. So I think they want more clarification on this, just so I don't know. I thought it was cut and dry before, but I can see some people getting confused.
Because they do, they end up having to come time 2-3 sweeps.
They gotta come back, yeah.
Right.
And so the original ordinance used to be 2 a.m. with 2 inches of snow, and the biggest issue that we ran into with that is that, again, drifting snow, you would have snow going across the street in one area, there's barely anything, and then in the other, it's that high. You'd go out and get tickets, and there'd be somebody out there with a ruler sticking it on their side of the road going, you can't give me a ticket, because it's not even. So City Council ended up going through here, this is back in 2018, putting any accumulation of ice and or snow. And like I said, I thought that was going to be good enough, but now I can actually see people saying, well, they've already passed. Well, maybe you want to say within 24 hours. Problem is, a lot of the times, I mean, this is good here. This is one of the windiest places
that west
on the face of the
down
planet. I mean,
And
it's
it does
windy
actually say
year-round.
the debris until the street is cleared to its full width too, you know?
Yeah.
And see, that's the thing too. So the ones that come in with the complaints that came to me when Josh wasn't on duty, is they said that they've been through. Yes, I understand they've been through enough to be able to get you out in case if you need to get to work, you can get through that stuff. So like Josh said, we as non-voters, we can see what they're saying, but at the same time, you're then moving your vehicle off your parking in front of your garage so that you can get your driveway plowed out, but then you're inhibiting the road from getting a clear path again. So we see both sides of it, and so it's a hard one to.
See, the original part of that was, they went through to open the streets up.
Yep.
And then they're coming back to clean the streets, to get them winged out and everything else. And that's where, as long as it's opened up, what the heck, I'm gonna park there again, you can't.
Yeah.
And that's what that was designed.
Cleared to its full width makes a ton of sense. I mean, it's until they've got it.
And so that's when we were, and they were pushing their 10 days of the ticket pay or 14 days, what is it?
Oh, it's, oh yeah, sorry.
So
10,
after,
yeah.
so after, several phone calls with them, some of them came in here, they just decided to pay it, but they wanted it to be shared with you guys, to look at it, to see and explain it just a little bit more. They'll probably hear it on the live, just so that you're aware that there's that fine line, we understand, they understand it, but.
So, okay, it's gonna sound dumb, but, can you wait until the storm is over? Not just 24 hours, because sometimes the storms aren't over in 24 hours.
I think what we need to do is put, and this is just my opinion only, another subdivision in there, basically giving more clarification, not just the 24 hours, but until the windstorm's over, anything, like, I don't know how to do the wording, I don't know if Bob could figure that out, maybe come up with an option of something to do for that, or at least a way to word it. So it kind of explains it, like, you guys will not be parking on the road. I mean, because even 24 hours later, a lot of the times it's so windy, and then it starts drying out, and now it's starting to blow. And then we have the plows coming through, trying to get that.
Yeah, Mayor and Council, I mean, this isn't the direction that you're all thinking about it right now, but my experience has been, I mean, obviously, this is Minnesota, and this is a problem everywhere, right? I mean, that's just the way it is. But what I've seen to be more successful, frankly, than changing the code, changing the ordinance language, is a kind of concerted informing the public effort, putting something on the website about what we're saying here, which is that you can't just move your car for an hour while the plows are out. You have to keep it off the street until the plows come back when the drifts move, and let people know that. In other words, I don't know that there's any real perfect way to write an ordinance that matches the way the weather works in Minnesota, right?
That's what I keep running into.
I agree 100% with you.
Yeah. And it's just, and part of it is you just have to accept that there are gonna be some number of people that aren't gonna move their cars, and they're gonna have to get ticketed, so.
Almost every individual that we give tickets to, I've asked them, is this your first year living here in town? I'm trying to just kind of gauge it, and no, I've been here my whole life. So,
right.
They know, but I know, I've been here not even that long, and I park in my yard.
So maybe some kind of appeal process on the tickets as far as talking to the police force or, whatever, saying, I made a mistake, I thought it was done, can we rescind this time, or, that kind of thing?
The way that we've always done it, and if we do one, we're gonna be rescinding this all.
You can't.
And that's the thing, you can't, so.
No, because once you do one, you can't give another ticket out.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You set precedents, you can't.
No,
Once you set that, no matter what it is, you can't take it back.
Oh, no. Yeah.
So we gotta go by what we had, and
I can try to put something on our Facebook webpage explaining it a little bit further. Maybe, I don't know, if I'll try to word it nice. Maybe we can put it on both, and fingers crossed from there.
Yeah, it's the only thing you can do, I mean.
Maybe put something else out with their bills.
But it's, if a guy's lived here all his life, he should know better. We have another one that has lived here most of his life, and he had got a ticket too, but after he thought about it, come back and says, that was kind of stupid of me saying that. I says, yeah, it was. But I mean, I think he's great for coming back and admitting it.
Yeah.
You know.
Right.
But it's, every year it's the same thing, and we have, basically it's damn near the same people.
Do you guys maybe want to send something out with a water bill, or just so everybody?
That'd be a way to get everybody aware of it.
Get everybody, because a lot of people don't have Facebook or even.
That's right.
You could put something up, you could put something on the water bill.
Beautiful. I'll ever take care of it.
Great. Okay.
Truth and taxation, final budget levy approval.
Oh, boy, that's. We ended up doing the 10%.
Yeah.
So do you
We
approve it
probably
already?
can't go down, can we?
Well, that's why we went to 10%, because we were able to go down,
You
but
can't go up.
can't go up, right? But I don't know by the looks of the numbers if we can go down.
This part of it isn't growing yet, so.
Yeah, well.
What was that you said, Mayor?
I said the best thing is you're still growing,
Town's growing.
Yeah.
so it's gonna cost more to do things anyways.
We did 10 last year, didn't we? Wasn't it 10?
9.
9.
9. So. Just one. And last year was a totally different financial type, situation, I guess, So.
And we don't know the numbers right now as to how it's gonna affect each particular household either, do we? We won't.
Yeah, so I did pick yours and Wayne's. I guess it was on an email. I have yours
Oh, okay.
back there.
Oh.
It's ultimately going to give you an increase. It's been a few weeks since I pulled those numbers. I guess the way that I see it, from the bookkeeping side is I feel that you need to keep it at this levy, the 662,000, because we were short the $31,000 because we didn't have any homes for sale. Now we have two that are closing, but at the same time, we were just going to barely make that bond payment for February. So now that you're going to have those two, now we know that we have, 8 more that can be sold yet next year. Then we have to continue to keep looking for, because we have the second part of the bond payment, the interest payment is in August. So.
And the biggest raises in my taxes actually were from the increased value of the house.
Correct.
Which was
And
big this year.
And everybody, including mine, and so from a separate town, we're all seeing our house values because of houses, how the housing market is right now, is your value of your house really did go up. So you did see an increase for your property tax, but your value of your house did as well. So they go in hand. So when we look at percentages, remember how when I was talking to George Eilertson, we have to really be careful in talking about percentages versus actual dollar amounts. When you say a percentage, it's actually a scarier word than actually looking at the dollar amount, because you can say 10%, but if I only made $1 an hour, it's minimal. It's just pennies right there.
And so, if I remember correctly, my taxes are going to go up $400 this year.
For the entire year.
That's $33 a month.
Right.
And not all of that is from the city.
Correct.
That's right.
It's not horrendous, it's a lot, but it's not actually, in my mind, that's not horrendous. you know.
It's gonna go up because of your valuation anyway.
Yeah, right. A lot of it was my house got valued at way more than I thought it should.
Cause then, and then.
I live in a hut, come on.
Then to throw more at that too, is we really could have gone and looked at the 12 or 13% to be able to cover that 31% that we were ultimately said that we were short, which we have money in the checkbook and in the general fund that we could use it for. So really, we were being safe with the 10% versus increasing it to cover that 31% that we went to use the general reserves. So, you know, if we all have that glass ball that could say, are we gonna have more lot sales next year, or, you know, so.
We went big for 20 years and then all of a sudden, but then it started coming back again. Now with inflation, that's gonna start leveling up, but it'll come right back again. It has 3 times now.
And well, whether a tax increment is about 10 years, so 10 years down the road, we're gonna start seeing more return on some of the new things in town too.
Well, as far as like your businesses and that go, well, some of it, yeah, because you're in a tax abatement with it, you know, but that's just to help, no, but we still get some back from that.
Yeah.
It's just the county and the school doesn't. So, and that's just to help pay for that. Then, but you got like Egg Partners buildings and that going up there, they didn't ask for that.
Oh, right.
So that's coming straight into the taxes, so that's money coming in on top of everything else. So I mean, that's what you guys got to look at also.
And if businesses live into the depot, that kind of thing. Yeah. There's possibilities though.
There's revenue coming in.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be coming in. It's just that some of it's gonna take a little longer now, because even like this across the street where you live, that was a tax increment. And we finally got that paid off and got money back from that actually. So I mean, as soon as they started going around like 10 or 20 year increments on it. But it's good for the city.
There is revenue there that'll be coming.
Did I say that right?
There is revenue, so. Not all bad.
Well, I don't think you can keep it even and make it work, so.
No. So what do we gotta do here? I mean, we already decided on the 10%, and there's no way we can go down, so we just gotta approve it, or what?
Just to prove that you're gonna continue with the final.
Yeah, I don't see any other way. I mean, there's no way we can go down if we're already below these numbers this much.
Was that?
Someone wanna make a motion to approve it?
I'll make a motion. We pretty much have to.
I'll second.
Motion made, second, to approve the final levy. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Lindsay Finzegard, does she take the job or?
Yep. She met with Beth yesterday, on the contingent that, you guys approved her for hire today. And, so she had her first day with, Beth, and they spent a couple hours in the morning. And Beth, plans to come back, the last week of December to meet with her again. And then, in February when, and then that's when we're gonna be doing that separation of, the bookwork, when we have to take the gas department with there. And so she'll see the money coming in, and it's a big kind of a treasurer type of financial process. So Beth would be coming in, which she's been paid for the month of December like everybody else. And then we would probably need to look at some kind of compensation for Beth, maybe one more day in February-ish that she would come back in. So.
And what was you and me, Patrice, that were on the interviewing process? And of the two we interviewed, we did think she was the best option for the city. So.
You wanna make a motion to hire her then?
Yes, well, I'll move that we hire, Lindsay for the treasurer.
Do I get a second?
Second.
Motion made second to hire Lindsay Pinsegard as the treasurer for 120309.
Salary.
The salary a year. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Wage increase for the city clerk, $3.50.
That's what we talked about at the other meeting, and if she's taking on all these other jobs, it's, I mean, when Dick retired or whatever, she took on a whole bunch more duties than what she had been doing before. What were you hired 1 year ago, is it now, or 1 year, yeah. So since the 1 year, I mean, you have taken on how many different?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, definitely. I think she's taken on a lot more, and she needs to be paid for that.
You make a motion?
Could I just ask one more quick?
Yeah.
Someone referenced you, Bob, that you thought too, that she needed an increase.
Yeah, I think I was asked during the review about whether that'd be appropriate or not, and I said yes. I don't get a vote on policy matters about how much you should pay people, of course, but it'd be appropriate to reflect increased duties with increased pay for sure. And you know, frankly, this is not what you asked, but you know, there's a legitimate question in my mind about, you know, at what point does the clerk's role here start to bleed into sort of what a city administrator typically does? And you know, I think you're starting to butt up against that question. So.
Thank you for commenting.
Yeah. And by saving us administration fee like that, that's.
That isn't cheap.
No.
Sure.
So can I get a motion?
I move that we raise her pay $3.50 an hour.
Do I get a second?
I'll second.
Motion made second to give the city clerk an additional $3.50 an hour. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Typing city ordinances.
And she has just done the snow ones now, you said, or which ones are she?
The ordinance ones that are on
The zoning.
The zoning, okay. So then
I
what?
just haven't sent it your way yet.
Oh, she's, okay. So what, are we wondering what we're gonna pay her for what she's done, you mean, or is that what we're gonna do? Well, we definitely appreciate somebody doing it. It's not something just anybody wants to do.
Did she I can't say too much, but did she submit hours?
Yes.
Yeah, it said 8 hours here. Spent 8 hours typing so far.
She told me 8.5, that's why I'm asking.
Oh,
But no, whatever she told you. Yeah. She has worked for the city before.
So are you giving her part-time, as a part-time employee, like we do with the city, the sewer plant and all that, or?
Yeah.
I don't know about it, that's why I'm asking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we can match her with the part-time,
That's what I'm at,
general pay, yep. It's like 18 something, 1851. I will confirm what the part-time pay is, and that's what we'll go with the pay scale.
I mean, I don't have an issue with it at all, that's.
Well, yeah, as long as it's, and if it's fair for her, because it's just not something a lot of people are gonna wanna help with. And she has a lot more to do yet, or?
No, she's done.
Oh, she is done, okay, good.
That was the most important one for us to get
Okay,
going.
perfect.
It will be much easier to read when it's on a
Sure,
come
piece of paper versus a poster.
Even though it was laminated, it was still kind of tough.
Oh, I asked, Dick and I talked many hours on them. So can I get a motion to pay her as a part-time wage for eight hours?
Yeah, so move.
Second.
Motion is made and second to pay Celine for part-time hours or wage for 8 hours. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion's carried. Approve the tobacco license for the Country Station, Corner Bar and Dars. He's gone, so.
This was the same time we did this last year then?
Yes.
Yes, okay. I so move, I'll make a motion. Gotta keep
I'll
them.
second.
Motion made and second to approve the tobacco license for Country Station, Corner Bar and Dars. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried. Polling place for resolutions for 2023.
So this is in case we have to have an emergency election. We have to do it every year.
I was wondering.
And that's, the Lions Building is the polling place.
Yeah.
Can I get a motion?
So move.
Second?
So second.
Motion made and second to approve the Lions Building and Community Center for the polling place. All in favor, say aye.
Second.
Opposed? Motion's carried. Mayor's concerned thank Beth Ponset for 17 years being a city treasurer. I wish she was here.
Yeah, that's pretty good, 17 years she did.
And there've been a lot in the works they've been doing from home, but hopefully it's all getting better now. We got this, talked about tonight about certain things, and it's going good, and I just wish the new council luck and good luck and everything else running the city. I have no issues really, just be fair with everybody and keep everybody in mind. That's basically about it, and thank you. And I'll still go till the 31st, so.
Oh, okay.
Well, I got a few other things in irons right in the fire right now, so. But it's nothing to bring here yet, so. Any council concerns?
I have something. We have something for you, Carrie, for your many years of service. I'm gonna present you with a plaque. Appreciation of all you've done for the many years.
Oh,
Thank
you.
Really admire everything you've done and
No,
all you've given and all your time and all your sacrifice and I know it's a lot. So
well, it was worth it.
and just so you know, Mr. Gorman will be getting something too. So
No, thank you very much.
yeah.
26. 12 is mayor and 14 is. No, I appreciate it. Thank you.
It was the whole council, yeah, so, yeah.
I know there's a lot to learn on it. That's the biggest
Oh.
thing. And one word of advice for you three is the state does put on council classes and mayor classes. Go to them. Because I was on the council for a couple years and I went to it and I says, okay, we can't be doing this, we can't be doing that. We gotta do it this way. When I got on as mayor, when Arlen got off, we had a little argument about something. I went to the class, I came back and I said, you can't do it because of this. He looked at me and says, I never knew that. And I said, well, I learned that at that class. So please go to it because it'll help you out immensely. It really will.
Yeah.
And I'll even vote for once just to send you there. I don't usually vote. I'm a tiebreaker, is all it is. But yeah, just go to it if you can. I mean,
If I got a council concern, where they didn't get the concrete done along Second Street, there's just a big hole there now for plowing snow and stuff. How, can we just fill that in with some gravel or do something? It's right in front of the old city hall. They dug that out to fix that water.
oh, they can't get that done?
No, and it's all straw and plastic there, and we gotta find
No,
somebody.
we put gravel in there.
Okay, we'll find something, yeah, get.
Very should do that in both places, so somebody doesn't go through there and wreck it.
Yep.
Where's the other place?
Up on Is it? There's a little 4-foot chunk up there on. By Brett Nelson's place.
Oh, up there, okay.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, just to get
It's not
somebody
gonna be
to,
done this winter, we should.
right, just get it gravel and get it level.
Yeah.
Yep. 'Cause they're gonna-
See, I haven't been around town much, I thought they had yours done, because I thought they were doing it when I was.
Well, no, that's why I was glad to find out tonight, that at least they did the alley behind, for plowing snow behind Charlie Hardware's, they did get that fixed. But yeah, there's just a big hole there, people walking by or something, I mean, it's, at least get it filled in so you can push snow past it or do whatever.
My wife finally let me drive, so now I can start going around town again.
Oh, boy. That's all I.
Carrie, do you wanna talk to Jason about that tomorrow, or do you wanna tell me the addresses again?
I'll talk to him tomorrow. I'll be talking to him anyway, so.
I don't know, Mayor, the right place to bring it up. I guess I'll do it as a council concern, even though I'm not on the council. So the open meeting law allows you to close meetings to have attorney-client privilege discussion, and I do need to report to you on a pending legal matter that the clerk is involved in, and whether you want me to be involved in that. So I think you should probably hear your public concerns and pay your bills, but then before adjourning, we should, I'd recommend that you go to close it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna ask, that's what I was gonna talk to you about tonight too. Okay, any public concerns? Motion to pay the bills?
I got through quite a few of them, but
Yeah, I got through them all.
Oh, you did, good, yep.
I guess we gotta be.
Right, and,
Just do it.
yeah, because a lot of times I'll go through it afterwards and then we can, you know. if there's any
The
questions.
explanation does help. Under description, that,
Yeah.
most of that helps.
Yep.
So, otherwise it's.
Whoa.
All right, you're good.
I'll make a motion that we approve the bills upon Patricia's recommendation.
Well, I'll second that.
Motion made and second to pass the bills on Teresa's recommendation. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Motion's carried. Now, can I get a motion to close the open meeting and go into a closed meeting?
Yeah, I said.
I'll second that.
Motion's made and second to close the open meeting, and all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Well, thank you, people. Oh, yeah. You ain't gonna get rid of me that easy.
I'll be here 8 to 4.
Carrie, how you done?
Reese, before you go, it's weird, I know,